Good evening, and welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we inspire, encourage, and empower you to live a fulfilling and blessed lifestyle. I come to you every Wednesday to bring you knowledge and everything that will make your life just fulfilling and blessed. I am Anna. I am your host. I am a retired school teacher. I'm an author, an educational consultant, a jury consultant, and a health consultant. I'm also a certified cake instructor. So I bring to you a wealth of knowledge and experience to our conversations. Each episode, I try to delve into topics that will enrich your life, from educational and personal development to health, wellness, and of course, the art of jewelry. I do this by providing workshops, speakers, and just knowledge on different types of topics. So I want you to join me as we explore inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical advice to help you live a fulfilling and blessed lifestyle. I want to thank you again for tuning in to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where every conversation is a treasure. So let's begin. So in the past few weeks, I have been talking to you about cake decorating. And so I'm giving you a little snippet of the courses that I'll be offering. I do have the courses, the decorating basic courses is on my website now. So if you're interested in signing up, I'm still working on the little kinks and stuff out because I'm not computer literate. But that's okay. So I'm going to get there. They're listed now, okay? So I'm in the process of giving you some tips on Course 2. And Course 2 deals with flowers and designs, and it's a whole totally different icing. You know, in Course 1, we talked about buttercream. And so in Course 2, you will be working with royal icing. Now, royal icing is an icing that you do not put on your cake. You don't ice it on your cake because what it does, it makes flowers and designs. And so I gave you a demo, talked about it. I tried to do a demo on it, and we had a bad storm, so it didn't go. But I'm going to try again today, but I'm going to pull it down and share my screen. I'm going to try. So we're going to take a brief commercial, and then when I come back, I will show you that on how to make royal icing, I hope.
Oh, my goodness, the mailman came. I hope my sweet little thing cookies in here. I just hope it's in here. Let me see. Let me open this up. That's it. That's it. Sweet little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, I'ma have me a ball now. Let me just get this right here. Little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, yeah. I finally got my cookies. This sweet little thing cookies. Oh, yeah. I'ma have fun. This package kind of big, though. Man, it got a lot of cookies. Oh, yeah. This the best day ever. I'm trying to tell you, I got my cookies, and I'm gonna eat these cookies, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. Wait, what? Marie, what you doing, man? You can't have those cookies right now. I'm sorry, we about to eat dinner. Once we finish dinner, then you can have those cookies. Go ahead, put them up. Go ahead, put them up. Are you serious, bruh? I got sweet Listeine cookies, and now I gotta wait for dinner? Fine, can I at least look at the cookies? Thank you. Oh my goodness, I have waited all this time now. I gotta do all this. Fine. Oh yeah. I got my hands on some sweet Listeine cookies. But I can't eat them right now because bruh talking about I gotta wait to dinner. Okay, I'ma do it.
Alrighty, we're back. Thanks. I'm Anna. I'm your host. I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you this video. Okay, here we go. Thought I was going to share it. Okay. Hold on, y'all. It was right here a few minutes ago. Oh, God. Alrighty.
Houses and icing fun, colorful sugar cookies. When it comes,
That's done.
another icing that's good to have in your arsenal is royal icing. It's a hard drying icing, and it's what we use for piping decorations that need to dry. You can use it for putting together gingerbread houses and icing fun, colorful sugar cookies. When it comes to flowers, it's also an alternate for piping in buttercream. The difference is that royal icing flowers set, so you can let them dry and you can actually make them in advance. Also, they have a longer shelf life, so you can pipe the royal icing flowers, let them dry, and keep them for up to 6 whole months. One thing to note, because it's hard drying, we don't really use it to cover cakes. Let's get started with this recipe. Making royal icing is actually very, very simple. One of the most important things to keep in mind, though, is that your tools and surfaces are grease-free. So if you've recently used your bowl for mixing cake batter or buttercream, give it an extra wash to be sure, because royal icing will not set up properly if there's any grease. Also, make sure that you're using a paddle attachment, and if you have a hand mixer, use the beaters. We want to aerate the icing, but using a whisk will give the wrong texture. You'll also want to have a silicone spatula on hand for the stirring. The ingredients are super simple. I have 3 tablespoons of meringue powder, 4 cups of powdered sugar, and 5 tablespoons of warm water, and that is it. Now I'm going to go ahead and start putting all the ingredients in the bowl. I'm going to put my 4 cups of powdered sugar in first. sure my cup is full here. I think that's pretty good. And then my meringue powder is already pre-measured, and again, this is 3 tablespoons. And then I'll be measuring 5 tablespoons of warm water. And then finally, just attaching my paddle. Now I'm going to go ahead and beat this on low speed for 7 to 10 minutes, but I'm going to start it really slow because you're going to see here that the powdered sugar will kind of puff up, so you want to kind of go slowly with it at first. You can see that my icing looks a little dry, but don't worry because once it gets going, it's going to start to whip up. Again, all we have to do is beat the ingredients together until the icing starts to form peaks. If your icing is looking really dry and not coming together like this, you can add a teaspoon of water at a time, just enough to get rid of the dry lumps of the powdered sugar. It's been about 6 minutes and look how fluffy this is. If your icing is still looking a little flat, you can switch to medium speed, and I'm going to let this go for 1 more minute. It's been about 8 minutes and I think my royal icing is pretty much done. Normally this takes about 7 to 10 minutes on low speed with a heavy-duty mixer and about 10 to 12 minutes on high speed if you're using a hand mixer. That's a really long time to have your hand mixer running on high, and this icing gets really thick, as you've seen. So if you start seeing your hand mixer struggling, you may want to pause and let it rest a little bit, but not for too long because this icing will deflate. You know that your royal icing is done when the icing looks very matte, and I'm going to take out the paddle and check right now. When you check the consistency with your whip, you're going to get stiff peaks. See how this peak doesn't even bend? It's staying put. And that's it. This is about 3 cups of stiff consistency icing. This is going to work really well for decorations like roses and making upright petals, but if you're going to use it for borders and drop flowers, you're going to need to thin this down a bit. I'll have more information on that in the royal icing consistency video. You've noticed that I covered my bowl with a damp cloth. It's really important because royal icing will crust over very quickly and you want to make sure it's always covered. You need a damp cloth because that will create a humid environment in the bowl so that the royal icing surface stays wet. I want to talk quickly about an ingredient that I mentioned that might not be familiar to you, which is meringue powder. Traditionally, royal icing is made with raw egg whites. Meringue powder is shelf stable, meaning you won't have any food safety issues of using raw egg whites. Meringue powder, however, is not the same as dried egg whites, which is also called egg white powder. You will not get the same results if you use it. Meringue powder is typically hard to find in grocery stores. You'll have better luck with stores that have a dedicated baking and cake decorating aisle, like craft stores, and sometimes the big box stores might carry it too. This royal icing recipe is a great base for your favorite flavorings. I recommend this especially if you're using this as a cookie icing. On its own, this is really just straight up sugar. If you choose to add flavor, make sure you check it first that it doesn't have oil listed in the ingredients because that's going to break down your royal icing. You can add flavorings to taste, but be mindful not to add so much liquid that it affects the consistency of your icing. If you like a lot of flavor, you may want to substitute some of the water in the icing recipe with your flavoring. You may also want to think about using the Treatology flavors because it's designed especially for decorating. Because these flavors are concentrated, you only need to use just a few drops and it won't mess with the consistency of your icing. You can also mix them to create new flavors. Clear flavors are also a great option for adding flavor to royal icing without adding any color. If you use pure vanilla extract, your white icing might get a little bit duller, more like on the ivory side than bright white. The last thing I want to talk about is storing icing. You might not need all of this icing for your projects. And because all the ingredients are shelf stable, you can store royal icing in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 2 weeks. Before you use it again, you'll see that the royal icing might look a bit soft and deflated, but don't worry, just re-whip it using a paddle attachment on low speed and your royal icing will be perfect to use again.
Okay, we are back. So I wanted you to see that video on royal icing. So you learn about it uh, a little bit better about that. So let me go to my presentation. I am going to do a demo. I'm not going to do that demo here. I'm going to do it separately from this on showing you using the royal icing to make the borders and piping skills because you're going to make flowers. So you can see a few of the samples there that in the beginning of it, what you can do. It's really hard. It's candy, like she said, pure sugar. All right. So let's begin. Royal icing basics. So which basically what she talked about in the video, consistency is the king or queen. Stiff icing or stiff consistency for detailed flowers like roses and mums, it holds the shape. Medium consistency for basic flowers like your leaves and your stars and things like that. And thin consistency, not typically for flowers, it's more for like background. So if you can see in the picture of the cake there, you see all those little designs and stuff. That is royal icing that is piped, so it gives it like a background effect on it. Always keep icing covered with a damp cloth or plastic wrap to, to prevent crusting while working. And also, I use a damp cloth when I am mixing my royal icing because the icing will, because it's powder and you're using sugar and the meringue powder, and you turn the mixer on, sometimes the flour comes up. But if you put a damp cloth over the mixer, you will not get that flour. I'm all about being neat and doing things, so you don't have a big cleanup or anything like that when you're baking. The next thing is cake and design choices. So you heard in the video, and I've shown you some of the cake designs and things like that, and I will show you the color wheel. I do have a color wheel, so during the next commercial, please let me remember to get it. I will show you the color wheel that I use. Now, the color wheel you have used for many, many years, because when you were in school, you used the color. It's basically the primary and all of that. But you want to use the color wheel to pick complementary or agnoses for harmony. You want to choose a family, a flower family. For example, you can use pastel colors for spring or bold colors for the fall. And what I'm showing you in this picture is gel colors, because sometimes the gel colors work better with royal icing because they don't have water in them. And water breaks down the royal icing to sometimes to soup. If you got to be really, really careful with it. In fact, when you make it, you're only going to put to make it stiff. You're only going to put an eighth of a teaspoon of water in it. So, water, you're going to be really, really careful with your putting the water and so forth in your icing when you're making it. So, flower piping pointers. You want to start with easy win. So, to start with easy win, I always suggest starting with like daisies, drop flowers, or simple blossoms first. Now, when I teach the class, you have a template, and I'll give you instructions on how to use that template to make those flowers. And once you get in, really kind of get it down, packing your pressure and all of those things, because remember those three consistencies that I told you about: the icing, the pressure control, as well as your angles, how you position your bag. All that plays into part. As you can see, angle matters. 90 degrees for stars and drops, flowers, and then 45 degrees for petals and leaves. And so when I am going to do it was too much to do it here, so I'm going to do that separately and I will demonstrate some of the flowers that are listed in here, and the different angles and stuff that you would hold the bag on. So let's go on. So remember I said using flower templates, and I did show you a few, I'll show you later the templates because you can't see it in this little box. But I included one little one in the corner. So you're gonna remember I talked about parchment paper. I use parchment paper for a lot. So under the parchment guide, you're going to place a printed, and I use parchment, but you can also use wax paper, okay? And I'll give you the tips. They make the little parchment squares. You can make the parchment squares yourself, or you can make the wax paper squares. All of them work, okay? I usually make mine about a 1 inch square, because that's what's going to fit on the flower nail, which I showed you last week. And then you put the parchment over it, and you use the guidelines, so that way you don't mess up your template. So you place a printed template under the parchment paper to guide the shape and size. And you're going to practice. You use practice boards. It is great for repeating practice without wasting cookies or cake. And guess what? Practice makes perfect. So if you don't do it right, or if it doesn't seem right, you can just wipe it off of the practice board and start over. You cannot do that on a cake. So it's very important that you use a practice board as well as flower templates. So you heard us say in the video, royal icing flowers need to dry for maybe 24 to 48 hours so that they will be able to dry completely. You always want to store them in an airtight container with silica gel in a cool, dry place. Make extras. Ooh, you got to make extras, because royal icing, even when it dries hard, they break easily. So you're going to need to make extra flowers. Don't worry about it, because you can store them, the extra ones, in an airtight container, and they're good. Just like the icing lasts for up to 3 weeks, the flowers last a little bit longer. Okay, so let's take another commercial. Let me see where I am now. And then we're going to come back. Let's take another commercial.
Here's why you need to tune in right now. With CTR Media Network, you can transform your knowledge into a fully produced TV show. Imagine your content streaming on platforms like Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV, reaching over 350 million households in 140 countries. We take care of everything, from managing your ready-to-go content to global distribution. And it's not just any content, it's edutainment. A perfect blend of education and entertainment that keeps viewers coming back for more. You'll join a vibrant community of thought leaders, podcasters, and educators, all sharing a passion for impactful content and global reach. Plus, with our app available on Google Play and the App Store, your show will be accessible to millions more, ready to shine on the global stage. Let's get you started. Schedule a 15-minute call with us today and turn your idea into a TV sensation. Reply to this video by saying, "I want to learn more." Don't wait, your audience is out there waiting.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Let me remove this from the stage for a little bit. This is, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get up close. Yeah. Oh, it's upside down, y'all. So these are the templates that I use for my flowers. And if you look closely, you'll see that they have names on it. They might be backwards now, but they're different types of flowers. I had them upside down, Lord Jesus. But they're different types of flowers, different templates for different flowers. So you would receive this in it when you take the class as well. So also, I wanted to, let me put that down there. I wanted to show you the clock. This is my clock I use here, and you can see it's just you can make your own clock, round circle, 1 2 3 4 5, so that you'll know where you want to use your bag. This would be 90 degrees straight up. I'm gonna get it straight up so you can see. This is 90 degrees. 45 degrees is this way. Now if you're left-handed, it's a little different. It's still 90 degrees, but it's 45 degrees this way. Okay. You're going to have to do the roses, you're going to be here for left-handed. You're going to be here. It's just a slight turn. So you're between like the 4 and the 5 on the clock. And you're going to be able to do your roses that way. I wanted to emphasize the angle, because the angle is very, 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 very important. All right, so let's go back to the thing, design placement. So once you have made your flowers and they have dried, then you want to group them. Now you can group them asymmetrically or symmetrical. It doesn't matter which way you decide, but it should be, the flowers should be in clusters of 3 or 5, so for a natural look. So that's why whenever you go to the bakery or any place like that and you see flowers, you see the cakes made and they have the flowers, notice that they are in clusters of 3 or 5. It's always an odd number. What you do is you're going to use greenery and fillers flowers to cover the gaps. So once you place your flowers on your cake, and there's a method of placing them on there, and in the class you'll learn that as well. But once you place your flowers on the cake, you're going to have little holes in between. So if you notice on the cake here, they have filled it with leaves. So you can also fill it with little miniature flowers and stuff to fill in those gaps as well. So let me see what else I want to tell you. So I want to tell you some little tips for success when you're doing royal icing. You always want to test your piping before working on your final piece. I cannot emphasize that enough. I always tell my students to burp your bag, because when you fill your bag, air is going to be in it, and you need to burp it or squeeze it until you hear because it's going to come out. You don't want that to happen on your cake because it's hard to correct that mistake unless you put a flower or something, something on it. Another thing is you want to keep your tips clean. Icing builds up, changing the shape of the petals. So you want to make sure that your icing and that your tips are clean. And with using royal icing, if you don't cover your tip, and that I showed you those tip covers, it's going to dry, and you're going to have a hard time getting the icing out. So I'm trying to alleviate all of those things that possibly would happen if you when you're using icing. Now this is a really good tip. If the icing is too stiff, what you want to do is to add a few, you hear me, few drops of water, okay? If it's too thin, you're going to add powdered sugar or cornstarch. I kind of lean toward the cornstarch as opposed to the powdered sugar because it's nothing but sugar anyway. So, but the cornstarch is a thickener, and you use it a lot when you're cooking to make gravies and and stuff like that to thicken up your sauces and things like that. So it works really well with the icing as well. So all right, let's come back. Those were my tips for that, and then I wanted to show you the color chart. Now, let me see if I think I can take this out. This color chart that I have, I use this for everything. Now, I am very, very crafty. Not only do I do cake decorating, but I do some other things. I knit and I crochet and I sew. So my color chart, I use this color chart for all of those things. It swerves around, but it is excellent. See, it's a thing, and it has all of the colors on it. So it has the primary colors, orange, green, yellow, blue, and then and red, and then it tells you how to mix it. And then on the other side, you can see. So you can invest in this. This is a large one, but like I said, I use this one for everything. I use it for my sewing as a little net. I use this for sewing as well as for my cake decorating. Okay, it helps me in coming up with different shades. And remember, I told you it's monochromatic, triad, complementary colors on the color chart, and this one really just breaks it down to you. That's why I went on and I invested in this color wheel. It is so practical to use. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you before I leave this evening is some of the things that I will be demonstrating, and you can look forward to this. The first one that I'm going to do is a shape like this, and you'll see it in the video. And what this does is it is brushed embroidery. I don't know, this lighting is so crazy, but anyway, let me get up here. It's called brushed embroidery. And so it's a shape there. I'm going to outline it, and then I'm going to take a brush to do it. But we have different techniques that you can use. Now, this one here is, we're going to use a tip 3. It tells you what tip to use on these. So you're going to use a tip 3. And then the other thing that I'm going to demonstrate is called, I think it's called Canelli lace. And this is what it looks like. You see that? And you'll see that, like the cake that I showed you at the very beginning, you can see this is just wiggly lines going around, but none of the lines touch. So I'm going to demonstrate that because that's a different texture that you can use on the background. Now, the things that I'm demonstrating are just a few of the things that's in the class, okay? I just wanted to let you know there's many, many more things to do. The classes are going to be 2 hours long, and they go for 4 weeks, so you're going to learn quite a bit. I'm also going to, these are different border techniques here. Here you have the shell, that's the individual, then the connecting shell. These are borders that you can use to go on your cake. The little dots, trying to get closer so you can see this camera here, it's crazy. But the little dots as well, okay? They use different things. I believe that this here is done with a tip 2 or 3, and then this is a tip 21 here. But I will be demonstrating those as well. And there are 3 types of leaves that I'm going to be demonstrating. Because remember, I told you that the leaves were used as fillers. And the tip that does that is just fabulous for things like things like that. So, and this is an example of one of my practice boards. I have several practice boards that I use, but this is one, and I put the templates under there, and then I practice on this, and I practice on this, and I practice on this before I put it on my cake. You want to make sure that you have that design down before you implement it on your design, whatever you're going to do it with. So I wanted to put that on there. It's some little information that I need to relate to you this evening, and I want to, let me see if I can get to it. I do go live. I want to let people know that I do go live on Instagram and Facebook. So this is my Instagram page, and also this is my Facebook page. Hold on, let me find it. Which I don't see it. Oh, here it is. This is my Facebook page, okay? So I go live on Instagram on Thursdays. And I also go live on Thursdays on Facebook. So I go live on both of those platforms. So if you're interested in viewing my jewelry, you can go on Instagram on Thursdays and on Facebook. But I also do a pop-up Tuesday, which I pop in and show you a few pieces of jewelry on Tuesday, and I call it Pop-Up Tuesday. And I try to make it fun. I ask a trivia question during the week, so if you answer it, I give away free jewelry. I'm a giver, okay? This is my jewelry website if you're interested in going there. But you can reach everything on Anna's Lifestyles, LLC. There you can look at my podcast. You can see my jewelry. And I also have a travel agency that I work on. I haven't put it on here as of yet, but I will. So you can go there. I'm always looking for sponsors and people to advertise on my show. So if you're interested in advertising or being a sponsor or doing a commercial or guest slot, you can secure that spot at info at Anna's Lifestyle LLC, or you can contact me at ctrmedianetwork.com. Sweet blessings. So would gladly have you on. I must say this because I did show some products this evening, that you can purchase those products on Anna's Treasure OC-20. That is my Amazon store. I must tell you that this is an ad. Hashtag ad, you'll see there. So you're not obligated to buy it there, but I do offer the things that you see here that you can go there to Amazon on my store and purchase them if you're interested in that. I have two books that are out, and they're only $5. They're ebooks. And let me see, I think I have a picture of them. And if you are interested in those ebooks, Practical Steps for Personal Growth and a 30-day guide to prioritizing yourself, you can go to payhip.com/sweetblessings and purchase those books. They are $5. Good tips, hands-on activities in each one of those. So I just wanted to put that out there too. Let me see. I always forget this, you all. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but I always forget my media stuff where I want to let you all know what I'm doing and how to reach me as well. So, let me see. I think I did everything today. Okay. You can also, let me remove this. You can also reach me at info@annaslifestyle.com, LLC.com, if you have questions or if you're interested in being a guest on my show or sponsor on my show. You can contact me there as well. Excuse me. And I believe, did I say it all? Let me see, y'all. We're going to see if I told you everything tonight that I needed to tell you. I'm going to break for a commercial. One more commercial before we leave. This commercial is on Soul Lady Wigs. Soul Lady Wigs is a affiliate of mine, and they have beautiful, beautiful wigs. I usually wear them. It's so hot. It's been so hot. I haven't been able to put on any wigs because I'm sweating now. Okay, so but I love their wigs. They are so full, and I'm an old elderly lady, and they're gray, and I love them. So I will break for a commercial and show you some of those wigs that I'm wearing. All right, we are back. We are back this evening, and I think that is it for this evening. I just want to say this before I step out. The last thing is for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com at NL Brothers Show and Podcast. Always, always, not just my social media platform or YouTube, but all of them. Follow, like, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. You can also support me on Facebook at facebook.com/stars. All of this helps you all. It helps me with my content and all of those things that I truly, truly need. As you can see, I think I needed some more lighting. But yes, I do, because I know all my ring lights seem like they just all want to go out at the same time. But Anyway, I do need help, so if you wouldn't mind helping me, you can help me by supporting me that way. I always take donations to anything that you would like to do to help me. I think that is all I want to say. I do want to say thank you again for attending Anna Brothers Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we inspire, we encourage, and we empower you to live a blessed and fulfilling lifestyle. Um, I usually start with a prayer, but this evening I'm going to end with a prayer. And it's just a short prayer um, dealing with baking, okay? And so it says, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of creativity and the joy of sharing it with others. Bless our hands as we learn and create. Guide our hearts to patience and excellence. And let this time together be filled with laughter, learning, and sweet connections. Amen. So I always, you know, whatever you do, you have to do it with God in mind. You can't do it without. If you only knew just how frustrated I was today on coming on. Oh, it's unbelievable the things that, the life has so much, things happen that unexpectedly and can throw your whole day off. And, but I always tell people the devil is a lie. So I just try to keep on going because that's what we're supposed to do. Just keep on going. But I do want to leave you this evening with my 3 L's. My 3 L's. My 3 L's, the first one is live. Live your life, y'all. Life is so important and it's short. So you need to live your life. Live it to the fullest. Do those things that you like to do. Just do them. The second one is to laugh. And, you have to laugh at the things that happen. Even though today was so chaotic and, some days you things just don't go your way, you have to laugh about it, okay? Laughter is always good for the soul. And then the last thing, which is very important, is that you love. Love. Love is very important. And it's important that you try to love everybody. But, and the Bible says you love everybody. But I'm going to tell you right now, the most important person that you need to love is yourself. Take time out for yourself. Self-care is very important. So with that being said, I am going to leave you this evening. I do, let's see. Okay. So I just want to leave you with this. Thank you for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. I'm going to send you out with this little thing.
sweet blessings.